Hey, so I know that everybody probably noticed that I had some new equipment and I wanted to go ahead and do an explanation video for it. Um, I kind of just felt like I wasn't very organized as far as my idea to have, my 10 speakers so that I could do 10 layers using 10 voice recorders like I talked about sometimes, and then making a solo on top of that and doing the rudimentary way of the way they do it in Hollywood and stuff. So I kind of was talking to Fred from Milano's Music, a friend of mine in Mesa, Arizona's Milano's Music, and he told me that the go-to music program is Pro Tools. And I hadn't known that until he said that. And it doesn't sound like it's a music program. And obviously, if you don't have a recommendation, you might just, if you're your everyday person, you might not think much of it and get confused with all the competition. But the go-to music program is Pro Tools. Well, in that respect, basically the idea that I had was I need something to connect my keyboards to and my microphones to, and then I guess just have it be in a layer format. So like, one layer after another so that they would be stationary and organized, and then they would all see each other, and then press, and then add the solo, and then do the final cut, and then post-production, and then save, right? So, so that made me need to obviously purchase the audio interface. Now these immediately jumped out with Scarlett. This is one really bright red audio interface, and it was really, really cool looking, and it had they have multiple channels for it, meaning most of them they show on Amazon or OfferUp or Craigslist. Somebody has like 2 channels or something, and on Amazon there's like the 18i8 or something, and that had like 2 channels, but it and it was like $450, but I was like, well, that's not gonna work for me. I mean, it's really sweet looking and everything, but I have 4 keyboards and 2 microphones. It looks to me like, I mean, you could taste it for how sexy this thing is. You're just like, I don't have enough money. What do I do? It's gonna, and it's not gonna send everything through to my laptop. But the 18i8 had this one dial on it that said it'll like put like a hallway sound to your voice. They didn't say that particularly, but they basically made special mention of an extra knob on it. And I'm just like, yeah, I like the way that it sounded, right? And so made me feel like I really wanted it, but I mean, then I realized I can't, it wouldn't be practical. So in some looking and looking and digging and everything like that, I on the 3rd day, like literally 10 hours a day, just kind of reading stuff, and there was the Behringer Corporation that I was looking at, and eventually I just was at a loss because everything was not giving enough channels and stuff. But I was this close to getting the Behringer because it had like a bunch of channels, right? Well, because I knew I was going to get the Behringer, then it wouldn't hurt for me just to look at whatever I saw here. Now I saw in the picture on Amazon when they were showing competitors, because they do that when you scroll down. Thank you, Amazon. Well, it showed this Rockville Rockmix 10FX. And since I knew I liked that knob thing that the Scarlett was offering on top of the sound, when I saw these knobs, I go, well, then that would make that pretty good, right? And so this scary part right here was becoming more and more numb as the hours went on for all of my investigating. And so I was just like, sometimes you need the knobs for that extra sound. And then, so when I saw all of these, it's like, so then they're just going to basically reshape the sound. That's no big deal. Like, get over your, fear of extra, like knobs, and you should be looking at exactly what you're looking at with the people that are just like you when they saw the Scarlett, and they were just like, cool, and then they dropped the money. And if I would have had the money, because I didn't, I was going to wait till the first of the month, so I didn't have it, so that helped too, because I mean, in 2 weeks I get paid and stuff. So it really helped because it gave me a lot of extra time also to look around, right? Well, anyway, so I ended up looking at the Rockville Rock Mix 10FX, and right from the get-go, it basically says that it has 10 channels. And then it went into this video where there was this guy, it was really informative guy that talked about that it has a vocoder built into it. So, hello. How y'all doing? And there's like 12 presets. And there's like, hello? Sounds good. And you can turn up the effect sound effect, so it's more of that. Hello? This is a single standalone dial just for the level of the effect, for the intensity of the effect. Hello? 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 Yeah, sometimes that happens. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But anyways, what is also cool is anything and everything that's plugged into it will have also that, up to 6 channels. I don't know why, but the other 4 just kind of drop off and shit. So just plan on that if you want to get it. It works out perfectly for me when I ended up actually having it arrive, and it's just like all of these come down, and then there's like volumes for each and every one of them. As you can see, they're all turned up to the highest. And basically you have, hold on. The effect carries over to anything that the keyboards could play as a last minute suggestion. And I don't have to have that effect if I don't want. I can turn it to something normal. And then there's, but all of them make it have this professional sounding quality. I was listening to this one song after I had all this set up, and I was listening to how it sounded. It was like all professional, and I was just like, yeah, but now it's possible that it's a vocoder. But who knew that this whole time somebody could have just been having somebody invited to their bedroom, and some subsidiaries from some Nashville corporation or Hollywood corporation, and he's just designed to have someone come in and sit down for him and sing for him and everything, and then you just add the echo to the voice, and it's just like, now we are in a huge elaborate studio with glass and all those nice like dials and all that. And so essentially what happens is anything that also comes out of the computer has that too. So if you have an MP3 that you want to upload, or a CD, or sound MP3 song, that'll have the sound effect too. Any playback also, if you have anything that you want to send through on a Bluetooth, just push the Bluetooth button and then look on your phone and then look for that, Rockville Rock Mix 10FX Pro Rec, or Rockville Rock Mix 10FX, and then just say yes, and then you can have anything sent through with an effect. Plus, when I want to play DVDs on this, on my on my laptop, I can sit on my bed and watch the whole thing as if it's in some sort of like big open room with some gigantic like theater sound effect on top of the sound from the Pro Rec. These are like $150 if you can find them in singles. But this thing's really cool too, if anybody's interested, since we're here. It's got an entire knob for bass and an entire knob for treble, line level, mic level, and MP3 level. And this also has an MP3 capacity too for standalone, sending things straight through. But I got really lucky. I looked and looked and looked and found one finally by itself. Anyways, it's PRORECK, Pro Rec. But essentially the $450 for the 2 channels for the Scarlett has now been raised to 6 channels and a vocoder. So do the math on how you would calibrate the cost. And this, with its heavy density metal encasing, is $130. And they released it for the first time in July 2022. So like yesterday, basically. So that's like them losing a lot of money just to make sure that this ends up in some people's houses that might have something going on in the comfort of their own home. So the last and final thing that I wanted to talk about is anybody that has a keyboard and they wanted to go about purchasing this and getting a laptop, or they have a laptop and they want to purchase this and they want to connect everything. Unfortunately, there was a problem trying to make the keyboards to where Pro Tools could see it. It'll play it, which is the best part, but it won't receive. The microphones will. The microphones go straight into Pro Tools. But for some reason, the keyboards weren't, and so I looked up closer online, and I guess I'm supposed to have drivers for them all. And my Cord Cross is the newest, and I had all kinds of difficulty trying to get drivers or whatever the fuck I have to do. But lucky for me, about 2 months ago, when I was gonna go through the basic format or formula of wanting to do 10 layers from all of my keyboards and then have it all ready. So I broke out with my voice recorders. You saw them sitting on top of my speakers, right? Well, my Sony voice recorders, as it turns out, because they've been sitting in storage for like, I don't know, maybe 2 years, they had this sound and upon everything, and it just it wasn't working out. God bless them. They helped me in the past a lot, and I really enjoyed meeting their corporation. As luck would have it, I had like, dude, check this out. I'm so ready for like 24-hour TV. So like, just because I was getting all my like checks and then I didn't have anything to spend it on, I was like just month by month getting like different items. And one time I just like, and that's only part of this, like this. Anyways, I'll just show you. So basically, if they ever want to change the upload time for how long it takes for videos to transfer online to like YouTube and shit, then I could just put that stuff around my house and stuff. And I ended up getting those one things I told you, like they were rough. Oh, here they are. So like, You like put these around your house. I got these from like Ace Hardware, and that way they move. And then just like I told you I was going to, and then I got the magnets. So you like glue the magnets to the wall, and then you just put the magnets on there, and that way you can just, you know, grab your phone and put it on there and then take it off pretty easily. Anyways, but because I had those laying around, I was like, my Sony voice recorders don't work, right? So I brought out one of my phones and did the same thing. I just put it next to my speaker and I pressed record on my voice recorder that I downloaded. And there's only one actual voice recorder that's, I'll show you the icon so that you know in case you want to get the best one. It looks like that icon right there. And if you want the best, let's see if it's here. If you want the best music one, like I really like this company too. It's Audify music player, and that's the only place to go to if you want to like play music. It actually will see your files like a Windows program, like a Windows interface. Anyways, so you basically just use the voice recorder like from this, instead of the voice recorders from the Sony voice recorders. You just set it here. Now, when I tried it, because those are specialty, right? They're supposed to be the best, but this had the nicest, smoothest recording. Like, it took all the impact. I mean, this is this is one of the videos that I did before I turned on the camera when I was using that just to sort of show you. But, and I had my AC going when I did that recording, so if there's any sound, it's just actually from my air conditioner. So you basically make sure there's no sound, and then you just do your 10 layers, record them all on your phone, transfer them to your desktop, open Pro Tools, and then get them all on the line. Now, the other thing that I wanted to tell you in case you wanted to go through with this, but you weren't sure, and this is the most important quality that I found out that was a surprise. Well, Pro Tools has a unique ability to do this touch button after they're all sitting here. And then when you press that button and then you go and you press play on the song, it has the ability to do a volume throttle during the song, during its playing of the song. And you can raise it and lower the volume, and it'll do a fluorescent green line over the top of the original track that goes high and low. And it'll stay the new recording of that track. So that's extremely expensive and extremely useful for anybody that wants to design their own songs. I mean, there's drums to consider, there's background like flutes and violins to consider. I mean, when you're wanting to design and cradle the music in the background and you have your solo singer that needs to be put in the middle of it, you want it to sort of invite them. So obviously that would be extremely useful. Well, all 10 tracks, all of them are just dragged and drop on your desktop, and then they're all imported onto here. And then you reshape them. You can play them all at the same time at any given time, and then you reshape them with the touch ability. And then you add the vocals, and then you can change the volume of that if you need to at certain times too. You just nest it all together with that one option on Pro Tools. Unfortunately, it wasn't a plug and play ability because of the driver issues with my keyboards. But if you have keyboards and you haven't gone through with wanting to, make yourself a professional like singer, or if you have kids that you want to make your kids singers, if you're not sure, the only thing you should be getting is the Rockville Rock Mix 10FX at a giveaway price of $130. Trust me, it has done nothing except impress me in many, many, many ways. And then Pro Tools for $31 a month. technically about a year ago wasn't even sold at a monthly rate. It was like Pro Tools Ultimate for like $3,000 for the box. Well, I guess they're all following in suit of DaVinci Resolve 17. They're not really giving anything to you. They're letting you borrow their mainframe at whatever building in whatever country. So if you pay $31 a month, you basically can have Pro Tools in your house. It is a year contract, but if you don't like that, you just pay $40 a month and it's on a month-to-month basis. Cancel at any time. I liked the concept of just having it be taken out of my bank account because I want them to be in my bedroom taking part in this fiasco of waiting for when this is all going to break loose. So I didn't want them to lose me in case something happens. I want to be on their list, so I'm locked in because I want to be, because it's music. I mean, so anyways, if you were, gonna get this, and then you were, and so that's basically everything that you would need. I got these from Guitar Center when I was getting the cables. I totally walked out with these in my laptop bag. There was a bunch of them that had just the card that said there's nothing, or the sticker that said there's nothing in these boxes, and then a few of them didn't, and this was like $195. They sound so good, and they go over my ears. They sell them at Walmart, but they're like smaller for kids, and some people get those. These things are legit. Also, if you were to have some kind of problems with that loud booming sound, because everything is so rubbed together, the magnetism from the speakers to the microphones to everything else sometimes makes that sound. I know people call it like clipping or something like that. Well, you can technically, if you are just working with Pro Tools and you're just working with a microphone, and you don't want any of that to happen, if your keyboard or whatever, if whatever you plug in has actually got drivers and is actually working, and you're having problems with just that sound alone, those are really helpful because it turns off the volume capacity from any speaker, and the magnetism for some reason and everything in close proximity causes that. But you can do a canceling process by just getting those, and Pro Tools doesn't recognize that you turn the volume down. You just make it to where your speakers don't hear it, but your microphone does, and so does Pro Tools. So you can still do some recordings if you wanted to do it that way. But for our particular reasons, essentially based on finding out that I couldn't find the drivers, everything is going to have to go through my speakers, and then I have to go through a phone. Now, I think I should mention, though, that some phones, when I plug it into my laptop, it just doesn't read it. It just doesn't show that it's there. And when you see, like, for instance, the desktop options, like, for instance, how it shows, like, this type of stuff. And then you're just like, where's my phone? Well, a few of my phones didn't show up, but I think there's something special about the Samsungs. This is the Samsung A12, and it appears, it says on my phone, the laptop is trying to view your phone. Do you want to say yes? And you go yes. So then all of a sudden it pops up, and then there's my SD card and phone, just like it is supposed to be. And then you double click on it, find your song, drag and drop it onto your desktop. And this Samsung phone is $100 on Amazon. So that way you're going to get the microphone, you're going to get something that's guaranteed to show up on your Windows capable computer. And it's a workaround in case you're just like, it doesn't like me. No, man, it's just technicalities. Do just a small little jump over the hurdle and then get back on the horse. So it's technically all in working order. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves.